Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. Mr. Unpopular Opinion, Tori.
BB Handy. Hey, y'all.
Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. What up, though? Welcome back to Real Bar Talk, episode 128. Is it 128 or 129? Episode 129. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, rate, review. Is 128? Yeah, share this podcast. Sorry, we're trying to remember which episode this is. I knew it. It was 129.
It was 129.
But y'all, thanks for coming back. I'm right, per usual.
Don't listen to me.
Your host, Mr. Unpopular Opinion, Tori. I'm joined by my co-host,
BB Handy.
All right, we back in the building. Before we get started, we were talking about our red things before we got started, and we just noticed something new in the studio. There is a casting couch to our left. I don't know what's going on here, but they
sucked dick to be on the show.
I don't know. Tone is starting a new podcast, and I guess he's having people sit on that couch and audition.
Make them feel ashamed of themselves.
I just know who will never sit on that couch. You should probably if you put a black light up to that thing.
I just thought of that. I was like, I wonder if somebody fucked in there. And then you got this. You got
all
this.
the black curtain blocking out
black. You can't.
That's tough.
Even with the light on there, you can't see through it.
Probably dimming the lights and stuff. Oh, so why do you want to be on a podcast?
What you gonna name it?
Mm-hmm. And some unsuspecting girl sitting on there.
You like sucking dick?
Yeah, he get right to it. Huh? He don't even just ease into the questions. He just.
Now I'm just thinking of what I would do.
Just imagine Tone. So you want to be on Real Bar Talk? Well, not this show because I don't know.
Look,
about
I'm feeling
that.
uncomfortable.
Right. Take a drink of this.
None, it's just water.
Cosby. But thanks for joining back, y'all. Oh, I had hell getting here too, dog. Somebody else got killed on 60th and Fond du Lac on the way down. Thought they had the streets blocked off or whatever. That's why I wasn't on time.
I put my brake lights in.
Yeah, this city is getting really reckless with all the reckless driving and the murders and everything, dog. This is a wild, wild west in Milwaukee right now.
Wild West everywhere. I can just imagine what is happening everywhere else.
And we just got our police chief just got sworn in, and Lord have mercy, I truly believe that man is about to be a joke.
I don't keep up with nothing no more. I feel like everything's a joke nowadays. So
this man really got up and said, we're gonna put red light cameras so that they will help with the reckless driving in Milwaukee. Most of these motherfuckers don't have plates on their cars. So what is the cameras gonna do?
Yeah, it's gonna be a picture of their face.
They just gonna get people like us that just been, kind of cruising down the street
like,
going 3 or 4 miles
go home and I ain't got the money to get these plates done.
Mind you, there's a Nissan flying down the right lane at 95 miles an hour. They didn't get him. They got me because I was going, 42 and 40 and yanking me out the car, pepper spray and all that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, these are the same people that said defund the police too, so they be damned if they do, damned if they don't. Nowadays.
Look, man, I'd say defund the police too, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Refund the police. That's what y'all do because it done got crazy out here.
We need to reform the police. Is that the right word I'm looking for?
I don't care what y'all do. Lock these little bastards up. They keep riding up and stealing everybody's cars, flying up and down the street. You can't park nowhere.
Get the people who deserve it.
Dog, they even
leave me alone.
Peeling people cars up in what is that? Walmart parking lot out there in Brown Deer.
Did what?
Somebody car got stole.
And your other co-host. Hey, Kayla.
Oh, shout out to Kayla. Oh, shout out to Kayla's daughter whose birthday is today. That's why Kayla's not in the building.
To you.
I don't see that as a reason as Kayla not being here.
Hey, Robert.
Rob, what's going on? Another fellow big truck driver. Rob out there tearing up shit on the road. Salute. So I can't get my eyes off that casting couch tone. Goddamn, like, did he carry that down here himself? It ain't no room to get a couch in here. How the fuck did he get it in it?
It was somewhat suspicious on a Sunday afternoon.
That's what he did Sunday afternoon.
I was
Put that
helping.
couch in there.
I was helping a friend move upstairs, and as he asked me if there was a loading dock, I was like, I don't think there's a loading dock. What you trying
Is
to
this
do?
a real conversation?
This is a real conversation. He's like, there is no loading dock. He was like, so how do y'all get stuff in? I was like, there's the door. He's like, all right, I'll just have him come to the parking lot. So it was a white dude came in.
A white dude.
Yeah.
What you doing in Sherman Phoenix, white man?
Hey, white people come to Sherman Phoenix.
Casting couch in. Y'all really have to see this casting couch. Y'all look, I can't turn the camera and show y'all.
It's velour.
Like,
yeah.
And it's right under the So Greedy sign.
Oh, greedy
and
for
the spot
some dick.
And the spotlights is right on. Like, Tom really down here shooting porn. He got an OnlyFans. TDR OnlyFans.
Lord.
Yeah, well, I guess whatever keeps him
I'm
going.
gonna have to check XNXX.
I ain't checking nothing. I don't want to see Tone raw ass on camera and stuff.
Yeah,
It
he
might not be him.
said he had taken made an executive decision, and I was like,
fuck bitches
we
in the
gonna get a
studio.
couch. I was like, all right, we got room. All right.
Sick bastard. Look at that. And then,
If I trusted it, I'd be like, it'd be nice to do something on the couch, but I don't trust the couch.
It's brand new. I mean, if anybody,
It don't look brand new.
if anybody do,
It's scuffles and stuff. It's brand new to you.
Kayla, you got to see this couch.
It's definitely
You
a
really
reason
got to
I'm
see
not-
this couch. I mean,
I'm gonna take a picture of it.
and it look like it been used.
It been used. It been used, and
No, it looked like he bought it used.
yeah, I said the scuffles and stuff all on there.
Or was that from bringing it in? Because I still don't see how they got that couch
It
through
was
that door.
from breaking it in.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, we got a new podcast on the wall because I'm going to ask y'all some questions. Like, what did y'all do to become a part of TDR?
We already
Let's
talked
see.
about. We talked about having like an upper echelon wall too, because I think this got a little saturated. The economy got saturated on the wall.
Oh, well, anybody that's part of TDR that got here after today, I'm going to have to ask how you got
You
in.
gonna jump them in?
Nah, I ain't
They're
jumping
gonna
them
be-
in. I'm going to ask how they got
They
in.
got jumped in.
You gonna
all
hate?
right.
You gonna hate?
Jumped in.
They got gang banged in.
You be on all.
Oh, I
the
forgot
best.
because Juan part of the CEO status too.
Oh Lord, I definitely don't want to see that one. That mother. Oh Lord, it's just melting pot of.
But shout out to Tone and Juan doing big things down here in the in the studio. I'm telling you, dog, that'd be. Thank you, Shaw. Put a black light on the couch to be safe because I'm pretty sure it's all sorts of stains and stuff down there. Ain't no Lysol, no nothing. They just had a freaknik on that couch, and it's all caved in the middle. If you look at the top of the couch, see I cave in right there in the middle
From hands.
It's from missionary.
Then it's this chair right here, and I want to know what this chair did.
I moved the
Took
chair
me-
over there because there's a fan on there that was in the
Are
camera
you
shot.
in on it too?
Oh, Tommy said ain't so.
There's a fan over
Well,
there.
y'all
on
do
the
what
chair.
y'all have all freaknik parties down here. Y'all want to just please don't do them on Monday nights.
I be working. I don't know what Tone be doing. You see what he doing? He
That
giving
was
all-
that smell you was talking about.
Upstairs. It was ass.
You said it was a smell when I came in here. You was like, "Don't just ignore it." Or
It smelled like garbage or some shit.
oh,
Public announcement.
Who's
This will
garbage?
be Real Bar Talk Podcast, last podcast on Tone Deaf Radio, Radio Network. Dooch, I'm on the way.
please don't have a casting couch.
No, I think he's more professional than that. And if he does, I'm not sitting on it. Well, yeah.
Sit on it then.
Mhm.
Who's gonna sit on it then?
I don't know, because you pregnant. We'll get Kayla.
And then look at her comment. Yeah.
No, yeah, we'll get Kayla to do it. All right, so somebody got to.
I have posted the casting couch.
That weak ass couch. Dog, I can't believe you got a casting couch down here. I can't believe you got a casting couch down here. Dog, I was watching earlier, Bernie Sanders' old ass tweeted out, for the wealthy to pay their fair share of taxes. And Elon Musk. That was a cold comeback. Talking about, I ain't know you was still alive. Like, dude, Elon Musk is probably the richest person on the face of the earth now. Why the fuck does he stay on Twitter so fucking much?
Hey, when you get paid by the minutes and stuff. You can do that.
Like I think he even topped Jeff Bezos.
But I mean, I wonder if he be serious. She said, I hate him.
Mhm.
I wonder if he be serious about some of the shit he say, because he talking about, they said Elon Musk could end world hunger, and he was like, if you can prove it and stuff, I'll give you the money for it. I'll sell stock and end world hunger. And then they shut the fuck up.
The world can end world hunger. No, if you can make all these vaccines and give them out for free, they could have fed everybody in the United States of America. I mean, a lot of shit is coming out.
World
now.
hunger though, dog.
I agree, but if they ended up ending it and finding a solution to it, then why would people need the government as much?
People don't need
The government want to be needed.
Look, Bernie got a point about the rich not paying their share. He does have a point.
Yeah.
Most of this shit, look, World War II, what happened? Tragedy. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer. Now, pandemic. The rich got way richer and the poor got way poorer. What was it? One or two billionaires
You're right.
in the United States?
Like,
And now it's now 10.
like 8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah, like 10 after the pandemic because the 89% of the stock market is owned by the top 10%.
And like 3 or 4 of them black.
Right. But I mean, all it is don't got nothing to do with race. It's just the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. So to a certain, Uncle Bernie has a point. But Elon Musk also has a point. All he said was, do you want me to pay up? Or do you want me to sell more stocks? Basically
And then
questioning
they be shut-
Bernie. That's where Bernie is supposed to come back and say, yes, we do. See, Bernie shut up after
And
his
that be
first
my
comment, are
whole
you still
issue.
alive? The legislative branch of the United States needs to be saying, yes, we want y'all to pay your fair share of taxes. I'm like, fuck, we got people out here in the streets starving, dying, getting sick or whatever. You guys aren't paying your fair share. Now, most of it is their fault for putting these fucking laws into place that protect the rich.
Mm-hmm.
But hell, the whole infrastructure of the United States has crumbled because of the pandemic. And why has the infrastructure crumbled? Because the poor people can no longer sustain themselves because they've been out of work, they've been sick. You know, like I make
And
jokes about people
some
getting a lot
don't
of
wanna
money.
work too,
No,
And no inflation.
but why don't they want to work?
because they ain't paying enough.
Just think about it. If people brag about making $20 an hour, and I hate to bust anybody bubble out there. I really do. Hate to bust anybody bubble out there. But do the math on $20 an hour.
Ooh.
At $40, 40 hours a week. You make $800 a week, roughly, right? But that's before taxes. So if taxes comes to get there, I don't know what you file. It could be 10 to 30%. Once taxes get their cut, now you have to pay rent. No.
Pay
Let's talk about the
insurance.
stuff you got to pay before you get your check. So now you got the taxes taken
Taxes,
out. You still
insurance.
have health insurance. You still, if you got a 401k, you got to pay out your 401k.
Medical.
Maybe you got child support or whatever.
Dental,
Maybe you got a
vision.
life insurance policy in there somewhere. All these things get taken out of that $800. So let's just say that $800 has now dwindled down to roughly, let's say $450, $500.
Damn.
Now let's get
What
into
kind
your.
of insurance these people got?
I'm just saying, between life insurance, health insurance, dental, if you got vision, maybe you do 401k, maybe you got that. All these things have knocked down that $800 that you've been bragging to everybody about
Unless
that you
got
make.
really good insurance. in my job.
So you let's say you make okay. Let's say that's the $300 deduction between.
Okay.
So you got $500 left to play with. Now you got to get into what's your rent cost every month? What's your cell phone bill? Maybe you got Wi-Fi. I mean, I think everybody does.
You gotta have Wi-Fi now to have TV.
You have to have clothes. You have to eat.
That's
Do you
why I
have
got
kids?
DVDs.
Do you have kids? Your $20 that you be bragging, I make $20 at my job, really don't mean a fucking damn thing. Actually, if you make $30 an hour at your job, you really ain't doing that good. We take, these little wins because people tell us that, you make it $20 an hour, you doing good. You really not. You still on the poverty line.
Mm-hmm. It's still a struggle.
And then guess what? Gas steady goes up. You can't go to Woodman's and put 5 items in your cart without spending $100 now.
Good God.
These things add up, and we can't worry about what the wealthy are doing. because us as regular people, we're making $20 an hour, so we're fine. We should be happy.
Yeah, absolutely fucking.
I wouldn't want to go to work either if I was most of these people. Hell, I am one of most of these people, and I don't want to go to work. Exactly. That's why I walked off my job. And even then, I still won't be. I'll still be paying what everybody else is paying as far as taxes and not paying. I hope I can get to be a Republican because they living well.
See, I enjoy my job. I feel like my issue is that I have to deal with other people's money issues, and I'm just like, it's already bad enough. I got to deal with my own issues that I do have with my money, but now I got to deal with other people's money issues. And even when you find, I think I see different because even when you find a solution to a person's money issue problem, helping them budget stuff, they still find a way to fuck it up. And then they try to tell you, well, it's for this or that. Like, I can understand your point of view, but when they tell you for this or that, what I'm looking at in your stuff says something different. What I'm looking at says you've been at Potawatomi. And
so you don't think that they have a right to have some kind of recreational, use for their money? I mean,
I do. I feel like it's kind of like what my grandma said. She can afford her bad habits. She's not going to sit up there and risk losing something she actually needs for her bad habits. She's gonna, if you budget enough, then you can still afford your bad habit. Now, my issue is I shouldn't have to budget to this goddamn extent that I can't even have fun. I'm just a slave to your goddamn workplace.
That's why.
So that's why I get what you're saying. Also.
But that's why most people don't want to work. I mean, just think about it. You're working to survive. Not to live, to survive.
You can sit up there, Elon Musk, and can sit up here and be going on a mission to Mars, and I'm just sitting up there trying to get gas to go home. God damn it!
Exactly. Those are the things that
I can't because it's in my budget.
That just shows you things that were regulated for the federal government to do. If you got enough money, you can privately do. The whole space shuttle program and stuff was government operation.
And now just
because you got enough money,
you can go.
And now they want to make it so that the rich can take trips to outer space on the regular or whatever if they want to go.
But then wait. I wonder if we're gonna live to the point where we could just take a damn trip like it's a cruise to Mars.
We won't be able to afford it.
I said, I wonder will we live to that point where people will be able to do it?
We already doing it. Shit, Jeff Bezos just went and cruised up to the moon like it wasn't nothing.
I said to Mars.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that's on the next part of the itinerary too.
We're gonna be old and dead. By the time they can do it, we gonna believe that ain't true. We're gonna be like that, baby. That's crazy talk, baby. Back in my day.
But you know what? Why is Bernie old ass the only one that's sitting up yelling stuff like this? And actually, I understand Bernie senile now and stuff. But you need some young blood out there doing this shit and saying this stuff. Y'all want to be progressives and all that.
Because they too busy worried about everything else going on that is just minuscule.
I mean, we need people. I hate to call names, but we need people that's Mandela age to be out there, tweeting all the rich and stuff and telling them you need to act right. He's running for senator. He should be doing the same thing if he gets in. Pressuring the rich.
Why we got these old ass people doing all this? We need younger people doing.
That's what I just said. So like Mandela Barnes, he's He's running there.
I'm thinking of Nelson.
Why would you be thinking of Nelson Mandela and he been dead since 2000? The year 21 years this man has been dead because he died the year I graduated high school. So Nelson Mandela been dead 21 years, and you thinking
we need some young people?
Yeah, we need some young people like Nelson Mandela.
Said it as a joke, because as in a reference of how old he was, like biting old.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
We were due for a laugh. It got serious. We were due for a laugh.
Yeah, all these old ass people making these. This ain't nothing better than the royal family.
Ooh,
they old ass is still up there making rules and shit. The most racist family in America.
I would have been nothing.
Y'all never thought about
the show.
I'm gonna say something that a lot of people ain't gonna like. Megan set herself up for this shit.
I've been saying that.
Did you?
Why is it that everything I be saying, y'all agree with me later on?
I didn't say I didn't agree with you then, but she really set herself. But now, here's the caveat to that. She set herself up for that, and then she used our pity get us.
Ben
some pity.
said that because when I
She
said
said my-
I said she wasn't nothing.
You said what she was what?
That she was a biracial. She wasn't black. And
No, I ain't saying all that.
No, well, I said she
I ain't
she
saying
tried-
all
this
because you
woman-
against all
this
mixed people.
woman literally came out and said that they had a conversation of how dark her kid was gonna be, knowing
Yeah.
damn well that baby wasn't gonna be no darker than her.
You
But
never
that's-
know.
That is.
And that's the problem.
You
You
never
never
know.
But look, I have nothing against mixed people like she does.
I haven't seen.
Mhm.
it.
I don't have nothing against
Yes,
mixed
you do.
people.
You mixed.
I have something against calling mixed people black.
They black.
They not. They
One-
mixed.
One drop rule.
No,
One drop rule.
no.
It worked during lynching times. It
Fuck
works.
that. And
But
we're
it's-
not in lynching
when it-
times.
when it was
We
time
are
to
not in
round the
lynching
niggas up,
times.
The light skins got round up right
And
with
we are not
everybody
in
else.
lynching times
And
anymore.
unfortunately, there is no real rule behind that
What?
to determine if they're black or white. It's up to them to determine. To say.
No, that's if you identify as something. What you identify and what you are is two completely different things.
But what you are is what scientific, and that's not been.
But soon as a white person come out and say I'm 5% black, yeah, I don't know, no, fuck that. You're either fully black or you're mixed.
I'll just say,
But
what up, cuz?
anyways,
Was it a
I
those
said, come on to the barbecue. That's what I said.
no,
Hey, man. Look.
I don't have issues with mixed people. I have issues with mixed people claiming black.
But trying to get in that family, I mean, it was already set up for failure. But if
Better
she,
be
okay,
lucky she's still alive.
that part is true too, because they show off Diana. But
If they can off
She
their
was
white
wild.
counterpart, they gonna get your ass too, Dan.
but like, all right, so Megan thinks she done hit it big, like most, Oh yeah, girl, fuck y'all. I'm a princess now. I'm about to be this, that, and other. Probably shitted on her family and everybody else.
Mhm.
Went got with Harry, got in there, and they treated her like dog shit. But you had to have seen this coming. Do people read anymore? Do people do? Is history a fake thing now?
Yes.
How did
Look at
the royal family get to where they were? The Atlantic slave trade. Most of the jewels in the fucking that was owned by Queen Elizabeth I came from Africa.
Or the crown jewels.
Yeah, came from Africa. Most of them were blood diamonds.
Mhm.
Number two, while they didn't directly have any part, the royal family kept their hands clean of slavery. They weren't opposed to it. And all the royal companies that were sanctioned by that kingdom were employed by slaves.
And that goddamn queen
And I
just
use
won't die.
Mhm. Why I use employed in the loosest sense of the word. So I'm like, if slavery is what got them their crown, and the first black employee wasn't brought into the royal palace until 1960, what would be your opinion of this whole situation? I'm gonna marry into this great white royal family, and
I
they're
just
gonna
love
accept me
him.
with open arms.
And the king, her husband was her cousin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The husband
Yeah.
cousin.
And but my thing is,
Cousin.
when I knew she was bullshitting, she claimed she didn't know what she was getting into.
Oh, she knew. She knew.
There's
You
a-
had that. No, that's why I
Who
said
don't
don't
know
read it.
about Princess Diana and they damn kids.
And why did they hate Diana? Because Diana wasn't like them. Diana,
And,
you know,
and
these
the
people,
man that she was in love with too.
these people are of such nobility you can't touch them. It is illegal for you to touch one of the royal family members. They don't touch commoners if you're not of royal blood yourself.
With Vincent, ass out.
So if that being the case, you got Diana who's all out hugging and posing for pictures and like, oh, I don't care what you say, Charles. These are our people and all that other. They bumped her off as quick as they could.
Like, bitch, don't be bringing that peasant body in here.
Mm-hmm. The Queen Elizabeth couldn't stand her. She gave the word. They went out there and killed her. Then here come Harry. Now, I will say this. Harry always loved his grandmama, and his grandmama always loved Harry. So she wasn't going to have Harry's wife killed. She was just going to make sure, shit didn't go right. Maybe she'll divorce him or something like that. Because that was, you could always tell if you ever watched, like, to follow the royal family growing up or whatever, she always loved Harry more than she loved William. Harry had her on back of motorcycles, and he bought her first cell phone and was showing her how to program. They always had a special bond. They always had a special bond. But so she was like, you know what? I would never do that to Harry and watch my grandson go through this, but I'm gonna make her life
But
live in hell.
she did it to his mama. Why wouldn't she do it to him?
She didn't like Diana at
yes,
all.
But that was his mama. Why is it like?
But you gotta remember
his
how
wife
old-
on a bigger pedestal than his mama.
You got to remember how old them kids was. They was what,
He was like, "Oh, you won't remember."
Yeah, they was babies when that happened. Remember, dudes? You probably, you know how old people think, they'll get over it. You know, a couple of years.
And look what he done did. He done married the black one.
That's because he just like his mama, just like his mama. But you know, I mean, whatever. The royal family is full of shit, and so is Meghan Markle. Shout out to Harry.
Told you.
I ain't got no problem with Harry. So
You didn't see what I named this episode, did you?
what?
It's a travesty.
Niggas in Paris.
The travesty.
A travesty. Everything we talk about is a
Current event
travesty.
music's not working again. You know, we're
I don't
gonna have
like
to get
it.
us a
I don't like
new
it.
engineer. All right, into this week's current events, people. Well, let's see. Number one,
Dun, 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 dun,
we
dun,
have
dun.
500 National Guards on standby waiting for the Rittenhouse verdict. For those of you that have been sleeping under a rock in the city of Milwaukee or in Wisconsin,
AKA
Kyle
me.
Rittenhouse is a young bastard that came up here during the unrest for in wake of the shooting of Jacob Blake. He came up here with an assault rifle and claimed to be administering water and aid to whoever needed it, I guess. Well, he was approached and harassed by the crowd and fired off a couple shots, killing two people, injuring one another. Since then, he's been charged with homicide, and we have watched his biggest circus, a kangaroo court, go on, and this trial is coming to an end. White folks see the writing on the wall. They know their boy is getting off, but they also know that this will upset the niggas. So, our great governor has issued 500 national. I even forgot we had a governor. Dude, where has this motherfucker been? Has anybody heard Tony Evers other than this declaration to put 500 National Guards out?
No, I have not.
I don't forgot we had a governor, but he just now stated that we got 500 National Guards on standby just in case the verdict does not go in favor of the people.
AKA you niggas about to protest again.
Okay, I don't know who's been following this case.
Not me.
It's not even really hard to talk about. It's a fucking joke, but Kyle Rittenhouse, homicide / murder, whatever you want to call it, trial, has had a judge who stated that the victims of the shooting could not be referred to as victims, but they could be referred to as looters and rioters. A prosecutor who has asked all of the wrong questions and has literally done nothing. He might as well have been sitting on the defense team, and the defense has really had to do nothing because the charges that brought about him weren't the right charges. The transporting the weapon illegally across state lines charge was thrown out to get the homicide charge. The one charge that we knew would stick because, well, he was 8. I don't believe this shit. The one charge that we knew would stick was thrown out. And yeah, so tomorrow the jury will get the case, and by tomorrow afternoon, I'm sure Kyle Rittenhouse will be a free man.
He will be at a local bar near you throwing up the white power sign.
Hey, Tori, you got your music.
Yeah, thank you. Biden's $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill was signed into law today. I don't know how this benefits anybody.
Tell me more.
I ain't telling you.
I don't know. I didn't know nothing about this. I told you I haven't been keeping up with politics.
Well, his infrastructure bill is supposed to re-stimulate the economy, like the first $700 billion they done gave out didn't do that. Let's see. Joe Biden's infrastructure bill.
Do we get another stimulus?
No. I know a lot of you people thought we were, but we won't be getting it. You know what? I'm not reading all the shit that's included because none of it directly affects us. It's supposed to be on the trickle down effect. You know, we hook up, everybody else, and it'll get to y'all eventually.
Who we all hooking up?
Well, all the major corporations are getting a kickback from this.
So the rich getting rich again.
Oh gosh, it's the trickle down effect. The shit that started with Ronald Reagan and ain't worked
what do
yet.
we trickle down and get?
I guess some of the rich from the richest. I guess if it's enough food on the table, you can't eat it all, so some of it falls off the ground, some of it falls off the table, and that's what's for us, okay?
We get the dog food.
Well,
barely.
This should get me kicked off the podcasting network. A transgender woman claims her jaw was broken when she was forced to sleep in a cell with 3 other men.
You already know how I feel about this shit.
Not I'm not in favor of violence by anybody, but I am saying this is tricky to this point because
It's not.
you put a transgender woman who's identified as a woman, whose ID says she's a woman, but clearly she has the traits of a man, or the physical traits of a man, into a cell with other men. The men abuse and harass and abuse her. I think that's horrendous and it's fucking wrong. I do. But at the same time, what do you do if this transgender woman goes into a population with other women and the transgender woman now does something to the other women? It's a slippery slope for me because it's like the damn corrections department is damned if they do, damned if they don't. Now I know a lot of people in the LGBT who only believe that you should speak positively of the LGBT, and the LGBT would never do anything wrong if you fall under their flag. I know that's how y'all get down, but you have to consider cases for everybody. Now you can protect these other women, or you can protect the transgender women.
You can protect real women, or you can protect.
I'm just gonna say
fake
transgender
women.
Transgender women, or people that identify as women, or the real women. Because now, if this transgender woman goes into a population and is bigger and stronger than these other women, and something happens, you have a problem there. If what happened, you have a problem there. So is it now at the point of the corrections department has to build its own, jail cell for people that, identify as other sexes and are labeled and categorized as such? I don't know. What I do know is I'm not going to sit here and placate to anybody and say they would never do that, because I understand LGBT is a community that believes you can only speak positively about them. No jokes. No, we saw that with Dave Chappelle. No jokes. We saw you can't say anything bad or negatively even about them. It's not fair. It's not right. And then I'm not going to say stuff like this happens, because it should have never happened. 3 men should have never beat up another transgender woman. I'm not condoning on all that shit, but I am saying this is the paradox we in. The corrections department doesn't know what the fuck to do. And if I'm the warden and my job is on the line, I'm just flipping a coin at the same time.
Here's my thing. I remember,
because being transgender does not mean you're gay. So just because you identify as a woman does not necessarily mean that you want to sleep with men. So if you put that transgender woman in a cell with 3 other women and late night hour or something happens, then who's at fault? The warden for not protecting those women.
But they've been not protecting women. I had to pull it up just to make sure. California prisons are aiming to keep sex between inmates safe. They are now giving out condoms in women's prison because people who are biologically men have been fucking the women. So here's my thing: is like
that's what the article said.
Well, not fucking, but pretty much they've been having sex. My thing is, at what point? Why are, I don't care how you put it, because I'm a biological woman. At what point are you going to sit up there and protect real women? Like, I'm sick of the bullshit. You're not finna sit up there and demean my womb as a woman. Like, it was already in the spas where a spa was, if you identify as a woman, you can go into the women's locker room, even though kids were in there. And then there was a whole protest about it, and the gay community came out protesting and stuff. But the thing was, at the end of the day, that man had to go to jail because he was he had charges again. He had warrants out for sexually assaulting women. So at what point do women get a protection of it? I don't care if, last time I checked, when I was watching Beyond Scared Straight, there is sections in the prison for LGBT men. Because that's where that, I'll be waiting for you at the door. That dude, they had a section for them. And it was men dressed as women that identify as women, all that type of stuff. They had a whole section for them. Just do that up at that prison or whatever. Hey, you in jail. It ain't no privileges. If you really think about it, goddammit, you shouldn't have got yourself in there in the first place.
That's true.
But at what point do biological women get some type of protection? I don't care. It's just like the massage, like your dick is showing. Your dick is really showing.
This just don't go for that case. This goes for the flip flop case on the other spectrum. you got a woman that identifies as a man and is classified as a man, categorized as a man, and she gets put into a male prison because she thinks that's where she would be, and in the late night hours something happens to her. Now the corrections department, the mayor or the governor of that state is in all sorts of trouble because he did what was told by this category, the LBGT. Now, am I wishing that on anybody? No, but I'm saying that is a strong possibility.
So who determines
But
where they go?
I guess the LBGT, since they determine everything else.
But
For real,
I
I mean,
you
look.
don't hear a lot of that from most LGBT men or
No,
trans men.
They're too busy fighting for rights to actually have common sense in all this. You can't start what we're saying now. We're putting them all in protective custody. You know that there's not enough space for that. The prison's already overcrowded.
How about you don't get your ass put in prison? How about that?
You know what? I'd like to agree with you on that, but America has far too many laws for that to ever be possible. We have more laws than any country in.
Then maybe you should change the law you got put in prison for.
But I mean, who, like Tommy said, who sets the bar? Who sets the rules on all this? Because if you want to be identified, if you're a woman, you want to identify as a man, and you want to put that on your ID now because they've made laws and stuff. And when you get arrested, they go by what's on your ID, and they say, okay, well, all right, technically you identify as a man, so here you go over there, Gen Pop for men. And all these men that haven't been around a woman and find out you have a vagina, it was the first thing that they gonna line up to do. But then when something happens, now you're saying the prison didn't protect me. Well, look, there is no special treatment for anybody in prison. All they can do to you is move you from one unit to another.
But at what point?
Or throw you in solitary confinement, which inherently might be worse.
New laws.
How about this? Just don't get arrested.
I said that.
Again, I say that's more easier said than done in this country because we have more laws. People, they said,
but we are now living in a world where men are more protected than women. Because I don't care how you put it, if you were biologically born a man and you getting all these little perks and stuff, you're still being more protected than women.
How? I don't get it. Pertaining to this,
for a transgender, for your transgender woman, you were born a man. In my eyes, you're not a real. Well, you can identify as a woman, but you're not me.
Okay.
So you have more protection than me at this point.
Wait,
because now I'm being forced to be upon you. Because now in California, I have to have condoms because you're in another jail cell.
Well, I'm just saying this could happen the other way too. I'm not saying this is one gender versus the other. I'm just saying that this is a very slippery slope in place by those who say if you identify this, you are. I've often said many times that I don't live in the world of make believe. If you have a dick, then you are a man. If you don't, you're a woman. And then even if you cut them off and mutilate yourself or whatever you want to do to alter who you are.
But if that
then okay, but
I feel like if that was the case for the most part, you would have more transgender men coming out saying that, like, okay, they done beat the fuck out this transgender woman. I'm sure it's a transgender man somewhere in these prison systems, and you don't see them coming out saying I got my ass beat and everything because I'm a transgender man.
More than likely, if they truly believe they're a man, they would have kept themselves quiet about it because most men ain't gonna come forward and say I got beat up or raped.
I'm sure in that shower they see what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure something has happened. But prison culture for men is quite different than it may be the same, maybe it ain't.
Were a woman first.
Yeah, but
they gonna see that oochie coochie and be like, I want to put something in it, and
exactly.
I'm like, my thing is, you will see the transgender community, they come out regardless. I've seen transgender men come out and say stuff too, but my thing is, you don't see transgender men coming out in the prison system talking about they got beat up and all that type of stuff because they were trans.
Okay, now
you only see it on the women's part, transgender women part, because they want to be in women's prisons, but you don't see transgender men doing that as much.
Okay, well, let's say they took this man who identified as a woman, or just transgender. I'll be politically correct for once. This transgender woman, and put her in a female facility, and then you get a bunch of women in there that feel like you. That you're making, a mockery of, what it is to be a woman or whatever, and they whoop the transgender woman's ass.
Then what defense do they got?
Then no, my problem is then are you still saying that women are not being protected because they put that transgender woman in it? See, if the transgender woman goes here or here, it's still looked at frowned upon as the man doing all this. That's why I say I don't look at it as far as men having privileges in this situation. Somebody has privileges, but I don't think it's gender related. I believe it's.
But my thing is, like I said when I was talking about the whole Beyond Scared Straight thing, they had a unit for prisoners in the LGBT community. So if they had one in this unit at this prison, that I don't know how Will is doing now, all that type of stuff. But if they had one in this unit, why can't they just put it in other places also?
Because some people don't have enough space. The prison system is overcrowded.
As much money as they put into the prison system.
Dude, if you go to the House of Correction, I'm sure right now, still they have bunks in the aisles of the pods. It's just the way it is. It was the way back when I went in 2001. The prison system gets overcrowded. Where are you going to start pushing all these? Now you got a whole another demographic because you can't build just one part. You can't build it for just the transgender women. You have to build it for the transgender man too. And now what happens?
And that's
a whole other prison in itself.
Yeah, but my thing is, it's been done. It was done years ago.
Yes, in one location. You can't do that for every fucking prison.
It wasn't just one location. I seen it was.
But you can't. I'm sure you can't do it for all of them.
I know that, but my thing is, it's just one unit. It's one little unit. When you go in there and you see all them lockers and stuff. It was just one little unit of it. Them prison places is big as hell. My grandma worked up in them.
This is a fucking nightmare at the end of the day. This is a PR nightmare. This is a political nightmare. This is a moral nightmare because things like this are going to happen. Again, I'm not saying I condone any of this shit, but things like this are going to happen. One, it's uncharted water. Two, it's really unnatural. And three, now you're trying to force people that have lost, well, most of them, hope and any kind of ethics to behave, to act rationally, to be mature.
You wasn't acting rational when your ass was free.
Exactly.
So don't come in here expecting a privilege.
By that logic, you come into prison and you expect to be protected and taken care of. Now, yeah, truthfully, all prisoners are supposed to be protected.
Extremely overcrowded. Look at Rikers now.
Like you push all these people. You put transgender women in with transgender women. You got a potential catastrophe. You put them with transgender women in with what they were really born as. That's a catastrophe. And you're talking about trying to rebuild or add separate units for these people, which I can't see the private prison systems giving a shit enough to do that.
But my thing is, you won't.
So the warden is stuck between a rock and a hard place, or the governor, or whoever's over the prisons in that state is stuck between a rock and a hard place. They don't know what to do, and they're gonna get shitted on no matter which way they lobby on the side of it. Put them what they were originally born as, or put them in.
I feel like my thing is, when you go to prison, you lose all rights. You lose your freedom, correct? So you lose a right to have that freedom also. You have to go as what you were born as.
But you still have a right to be protected.
And hey, hire more people to fucking protect them or something, or get you on your guards about protecting them. But my thing is, if you lose, how is it that you go to the prison, everybody else lose all their rights except for this transgender person?
Again, like I said,
I get what you're saying.
The power of the LGBT.
But my thing is that you lost your right when you broke that law. You lost your right to sit up there and feel like you should be able to go to wherever you feel comfortable at. Prison is not for you to feel comfortable. Now you know you don't need to take your ass back there.
Tommy, what do you think? You've been off quiet.
He sleep. He looking at the casting couch. He looking at the memories he had.
Please take your eyes off the casting couch. And
I think Tona's on, and I don't know if he heard the whole casting couch conversation, but you might have to rewind to the beginning to hear. I think the point that was brought up about whatever you lost your rights when you are going. I agree with that. Like once you're arrested, you look at the license and
You're
whatever that's. I don't think they have.
You're a slave.
I don't think they say that. I don't think there's a transgender that you can pick. I think you can pick not applicable, or can you? What can you pick? Can you pick?
No,
like,
you can pick. You can actually pick and you put it down as female. If you identify as female, you can put it down.
So whatever you choose, that's
In this case, this woman's ID stated that she was a female.
okay. Well, that's where she goes.
No, what they did. Wait.
But she's biologically a woman, and I feel like if you break
No.
the law,
She was biologically.
I mean, you're
a man.
biologically a man.
And that's-
If you break the law, you lose those rights.
So they put this transgender woman where she was born at.
So how would they know?
Who knows?
I mean, if the license says one thing, we have to strip and find out.
Oh, you never been to jail before. Okay, well, let me break it down to you. Once you get to this place,
Oh,
jail.
I've seen that in the movies. I forgot about that part.
The first thing they do is strip you down to make sure you're not bringing in any contraband. So how they check that? They make pull your pants down, nuts, cough, spread your butt cheeks, all that good old stuff. So they know what you are, what you were born.
When they bring okay.
But my thing is,
And they definitely said, "Oh, we cannot put. I don't care if you do say that you're a woman. Something right there tells us you're not.
You have a tool.
And we got women over here that we can't,
Yeah.
because we'll be in trouble. I mean, think about it, you a CEO. You're trying to. It's late at night and there ain't nobody. Everybody else, all the higher ups, is at home sleep. So what you supposed to do? You like, dude, I ain't about to get in trouble for putting and somebody get raped over there and stuff like that. But dude, with the men. And we'll sort this out later. Well, in the wee hours of the night, 3 inmates jumped this.
how we know he didn't try to come on to him?
I was
Or
gonna say that
she.
too.
We don't know. We don't know that. But that part of the story
How we
wasn't
know-
given, so
yeah,
I'm not
but my
assuming
thing is, how we
anything.
don't know
I'm
they didn't
going
know
what's
each
in
other
black
on the
and white.
outside.
I'm going with what's in black and
But-
white. And when that part of the story comes out, we'll revisit this. But for what we're talking about, that transgender woman was put in that cell with the men, and men jumped her, and that's what happened.
I feel like when
Which
you
I
go to
say
jail,
is
you
really
lose your
fucked up.
rights.
It's really fucked up and should have never happened. But if she had been put with the women and she had been, or the transgender woman had been put with naturally born women, what would have happened? Or what could have happened?
People get beat up in prison every day.
So now this man gets put in with these women and he catches one of them in the bathroom or something happens. Remember, this is the CEO's job that's on the line. Somebody just came to work, punched in to do their job, and now they faced with this situation that could get them, well, one, drug all across the internet, two, lose your job. It's all this hell that they didn't sign up for, trying to make this ultimate decision. Because it might be like the House of the Correction. Let's just say, just for shits and giggles, that was the House of Correction. Inmate comes in there, and you got to deal with this situation. You don't have no room or any spot to put them unless you're going to let them sit in the hallway with you.
Mm-hmm.
I got to put them somewhere.
No, you just put them. My grandma worked for House of Correction. You just put your ass in there because you ain't supposed to be fucking in there anyway. My grandma said she had to stop people from fucking all the time. It don't matter if it was man on man. You had to stop that shit.
Okay.
If it was a fight, you had to stop it.
Okay. But from the point of a CEO standpoint, what are you supposed to do? You got to make this decision. And
Because actually putting a man that's a transsexual man into a woman's facility isn't always just the man's danger. It might be the women who actually see a man coming in there with a dick and be like, "Hey, we got some dick," and attacking him.
No, but
that's a very good point.
It,
A very
it,
good
it, could,
point.
it could be the other way around. It's not. He's not the danger. He's in danger.
That's a very good point also. Damn, how many times you lose it?
Your sex is going long.
yeah, but my thing is that's any situation. Men get raped in men's prisons.
That's true.
No matter what the situation is, if you go to prison, you liable to get taken advantage of and fucked. Y'all must ain't never seen Locked Up.
Or
No, I haven't.
Or Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, it's just like people get raped in prison all the fucking time.
Or
You got
Wentworth.
your ass whooped. People get their ass whooped in prison all the fucking time. My thing is, when you go to prison, you lose those rights. You are a slave.
No,
to the
see, no,
system.
because it's
You
not.
a slave to
It
the
sounds like
system now.
that's condoning what goes on in prison culture.
I'm not condoning it. No, I'm not condoning
But
it.
you saying
at
that
the
like
same-
it's just that's what happens. You just got to deal with it.
But you do lose your rights if you go to
Niggas get
prison.
fucked
You
every day,
lose
B.
your rights. You get out there. If you get out of prison, you can't vote.
You know what? That statement's only half right. You lose your civil rights, you do not lose your moral rights, and that is not morally right for anybody beaten and raped and anything. I don't care
I'm
if you're
not
in prison
saying
or
it's
not.
morally right for you to get beat and raped, but
So you should still be
I'm-
protected.
yes, I didn't say you shouldn't be protected, but I sit up there and said that doesn't mean you get to just pick and choose where you need to go. I think you need to go where you're biologically, like your biological system.
I agree.
That's like if you go to the doctor and you sit up there and say, I'm a woman, when you were born a man, and they give you something that is like a hormone or any type of treatment that is just for women and you die. And then your family tries to sue the hospital because you sat up there and lied and said you were a biological woman.
Everybody's looking for a check.
Yeah, but my thing is, who is right or wrong in that situation?
That's what I'm saying. All this shit is fucked up. That's why I brought this story up. It's an interesting,
So if
interesting
you
conversation.
need to go to a male prison. If some go wrong in that prison, yes, I agree. You should be protected and all that other hoopla. Yes, you need to be protected, but you're a man.
So if you strip down at the point of entry, whatever your genitals show that you are, that's where you should be. Period. Right?
I can see that.
That's the safest way to go.
I can see that.
But then you have a situation like this.
But his genitals, if he has a penis, a majority of the time, a lot of transgenders do not get bottom surgery.
I'm just saying. Then you have
a lot of transgenders
then you
don't
have
get bottom
situations
surgery.
like the one that sparked this conversation because this
It didn't say
transgender
anything that he got beat about because it was something sexual.
it
They
did,
just put trans at the forefront.
and that there are 3 men jumped her in the cell, or her in the cell, and her jaw was broken.
But what did it say anything about sexual? Did it say,
And it took 12 hours for her to get any kind
did
of
it say
medical
they tried to rape her or anything like that?
attention. It
So
said
we
3 men
don't
attacked her.
necessarily know if it was something sexual anyways.
I think the leading to the story was that, but
If that's the case, a man can sit up there and say, I wasn't protected, they fucked me.
yeah, but that's not going to happen.
It's not, but the
But
same
that's
argument
the
can be
difference in men.
made.
That's the difference in men culture versus women's culture, though.
Let
no,
a bitch try to rape me in jail. I'm pressing charges. Get me.
shoot, please. By the time the charges are good come out, they gonna be ran through you a couple more times.
You gonna be
No shit move fast in jail. They ain't gonna move you just she pressed
Yeah,
charges
but
on you
look
chicks
how
and
fast.
then leave.
But look how fast.
and
this
then
shit
walk
is
out, go to
moving.
lunch.
Look how fast this shit is moving for a transgender.
We don't know how fast it was.
Because it's the LBGT.
Yeah, and
When
my
did it
thing
happen?
is, even
That's a good question. I really don't know exactly.
the
when it did
regular
happen.
body. What?
It was just reported
They
today.
were white.
I know it was reported. It probably happened last February.
It could have. Maybe it didn't. I don't know.
Well,
Oh, look, here we go. It came right up. A year ago,
yeah, they got did
November
up.
25th,
They got did up
2020.
a few more times. They actually like it now. It's been so long.
Yep. 2 surgeries later and stuff like that, she filed a lawsuit. No COs immediately intervened. Now that could be capped because if this happened, how would the COs to know, exactly was the extent of her injury? She said it was 12 hours later. Hell, that's lockdown because
Right.
downtown lockdown starts at 5 p.m. and goes to 7 a.m.
You're
So,
still sorting out the mess.
I feel like
so some of this
I
might
feel
be
like
capped.
she got treated like a regular inmate, and she expected like some extra special treatment because she's trans. And I even called her a she.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, so in February of this year, a bulletin was put out in their sheriff's department, in San Diego County Sheriff's Department, that stated now that you had to be separated by the gender you identify as. So if you're a man, you get to prison and say I identify as a woman, you get put in the women's facility.
And
If
that's
you're-
a problem
But
for
that's
me.
what I brought up. That's what I brought up. The dangers in both cases, and what happened here, and on the flip side.
But I get the flip side of it. But you only see stuff in the news about men trying to identify as women to get into women's prisons. That's the only, like, how, when was the last time you seen an article about a trans man talking about some, I identify as a man and they won't let me into the man's prison? I'm waiting. Google it.
Google. What am I googling again?
A trans man trying to identify as a man to get into a man's prison. When do you see that? Oh, you only see news articles about trans women trying to get into women's prisons.
I think we would only know about this news article if it wasn't for the attack and the fact that she was filing a lawsuit.
I just think it's bullshit.
I think it's all bullshit. But que sera, whatever it is will be. This is one of the things I don't think I'm ever going to have to worry about. So.
And then I sit up there and Google trans man in men's prison, and the first thing that pop up is male inmates in women's prison.
You might have a point.
That's literally the first thing that pop up.
Look, if I go to jail, I'm gonna say I identify as a woman.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I'm like, hey, ladies.
Daddy home.
Yeah, right. Like, so who's gonna be my cellmate tonight?
Hey, lady.
See,
like who coming on over to
but
H22?
even
That's
though
what
what
room
he's
I'm
saying
in.
is funny, that's what's been happening.
Hey man, look,
Which is why it's like
I'm playing part of the system too.
They have talking about they putting condoms in California prisons.
Mm-hmm. Give me a whole roll of them. Mel said she wasn't
California
gonna wait on me no way. So if I'm going to prison, Mel said she wasn't waiting on me in prison. So I'm going in there, give me a roll of them, the Magnums, or Lifestyles, or whatever y'all use in here. And like, who wants a piece?
I just want to
They're
know,
probably
do
the
they?
worst condoms ever,
I just
too.
want to know, do they focus on the
But
sexual?
Lifestyles,
No,
things
they
rip
prob-
like paper.
No, they probably got the worst ones in prison.
Lifestyles, because them is the worst condoms. Lifestyles rip like paper.
I just want to know, are they going to sit up there and take it seriously as other men getting raped in prison or getting beat up in prison?
Mm-hmm.
They make movies about that shit. So it's
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so okay, then it got to be
It's
your
just the
new
norm,
normal trans
unfortunately.
person.
Think about the Shawshank Redemption.
Right.
We watch Andy get raped and beat up and all that stuff, only to escape at the end and leave his colored friend behind. In jail.
Transgenders in prison say they never feel safe.
Bro, it down like that.
I bet.
He did. He left Morgan Freeman in jail while he went to escape and stuff. And
Right.
I'm about to go
Doggone
watch
shame.
Prison Break.
You know, that was the worst show ever
It was horrible, and I watched
because
it.
they was too stupid to get out of there.
They technically did get out of there.
We're after the first season.
Was it? Yeah, at the end of the first season, the beginning
'cause
of
I
the
stopped
second
watching.
season, they got out.
I stopped watching because I thought Prison
Michael
Break
got
was
his
good.
ass in there and got his brother out, and he said, "Fuck all you other ones." And then they ass ended up in another prison in like Mexico or some shit, and they broke out of there too.
What? They gotta be the worst criminals ever. Oh well, that's our time.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Real Bar Talk Podcast, where anything can be said and happen. And no, don't cancel us like Dave Chappelle because we do like the LBGT. We just think y'all need to reevaluate a few things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all know where to catch us. You
And
know,
we ain't scared of none of you hoes.
That's true. Y'all know where to catch us wherever you stream your podcast from, and make sure you catch us every drop day on Wednesday morning, wherever you wait.
Wednesday.
I'm forgetting something. Yeah, drop day is every Wednesday. I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, check us out on all social streaming platforms. You know, bar_MKE, Real Bar Talk Podcast, Facebook, Real Bar Talk Podcast on Instagram.
And if you want to be a guest on the show, we have a casting couch now.
Yes, a casting couch. And you can talk to our producer Tone about and I guess booking manager Tone and to getting on the show.
I'm glad you didn't rope me into that shit. Thank you.
No, I'm sure you're doing the other shows and stuff. So I really can't believe we have a casting couch. This shit's gonna bother me.
That should be the name of the episode.
Casting couch.
There we go.
Like, has anybody ever watched porn and they be on the casting couch and
They
you just
sitting up there like,
all innocent and stuff, and the
I only
guys
sucked 3 dicks this week.
and the guys just sitting there talking to him. So, what are you doing here today? Oh, I'm just auditioning. I want to be in the movies or whatever. Oh, okay, show me your tits. All right. I'm like,
I
oh,
came to
those.
get my
Oh,
I came to get my ass.
yeah, right. That's
beat.
exactly what they say. That's exactly what they
What
say.
they
Like, oh, those are nice. What-
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, you want to put them together for me? Tone is sick, man.
Turn the live off.
What up, though? Milwaukee's Realest Podcast. Mr. Unpopular Opinion, Torium.
BB Handy. Hey, y'all.
Milwaukee's Realest Podcast.